Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your pain.
Glass Doctor is a proud supporter of Long Beach schools. Call Glass Doctor for all your home, auto, and business glass needs.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your pains. Oh yeah!
Do you know that as a Long Beach High School student, you are eligible for a membership at Keesler Federal Credit Union? Keesler Federal is more than a bank. It's a credit union and a not-for-profit financial cooperative. This means you share in the ownership. We work to help you prosper, not investors. Keesler Federal offers a wide variety of financial products and services, great rates and extra benefits, such as free checking and savings account, free online and mobile banking, and an annual savings contest. So come in with a parent and talk to one of our friendly team members about what Keesler Federal can do for you. When you join, you are a member for life, and we will be there for every step of your financial journey. Going the extra mile for our members since 1947, Keesler Federal Credit Union, where you are more than a customer, you are family.
Hello people, welcome to Bearcat Football. I'm Tim Delaney here with Coach Jacob Massey. We're going to talk about the program here as far as last week, what's coming up next week, and then we'll get back on the board and talk some more football. Coach, I don't know what to say except from our point of view, it was just kind of an ugly game.
It was,
There was no
yeah.
rhythm there, there was no flow, and like you had mentioned, it was about as old-style football as you could get.
It was a tale of two halves, really. We tried to establish a run game in the first half and just really couldn't get a lot going. I thought their front seven did a really, really good job. Number 65 was kind of anchored in their defense. He played defensive end, and, we had some issues moving him off the football, and then they had those two inside linebackers, and they're going to be about as good as two inside linebackers that we're probably going to see outside of George County and Picayune. So, I was really impressed. Coach Dolan does a really good job with them, and they kind of did what we did to pass the week before. They understood that we could strike at any moment on offense, right, and they kept the ball away from us. And, it kept us from getting in a rhythm offensively. We couldn't, we were able to kind of dictate what was going on during the pass game, and we couldn't do that the other night on offense. So that hurt us a little bit, just knowing what type of style of offense we play. But really proud of our defense. Thought our defense played well. Anytime you hold somebody to 21 points, especially a Larry Dolan offense, you got to give yourself a chance.
They
to
were
win
bend
the
but not break.
It was.
They gave up. You look at the stats, you say, oh, they got run over. But when it came down to bow up, they did.
They did.
That's
I
a
think
good
we had
step.
three fourth down stops.
Right.
I think we had forced them to punt twice. Had a chance to block one of the punts, and we kind of whiffed and missed, which resulted in 3 points. You wished it could have been a touchdown there, but we had opportunities offensively. We got in the red zone, four times and didn't come away with anything. So
I know on defense, they never took a step backwards.
Yeah.
Even fourth down, whatever down, they're pushing forwards.
Yeah.
And so, you got that rolling.
Yeah.
Only thing I can say about offense from a coaching point of view is that penetration kills your veer.
Yeah.
Any penetration is going to kill your veer. And I know you're starting some young guys.
Yeah, we started two freshmen the last two games, and they played very well against pass. They were a little overmatched in the Forest County game, but, Forest County, which we say this every week, but when they walked out, you're like, good gosh.
And they don't, this is not to make excuses, but throwing a freshman in a varsity football game is just awful for them.
Especially, they were playing 8th grade football last year, they moved up, which, it's a bad thing, it's a good thing, because
3 years from now, they'll be
next year
team leaders.
They're going to play as juniors, technically. I know they're going to be sophomores, but they don't have 11 football games under their belt, so It's a good and bad thing. We're trying to build a program. We're not trying to build, a team year in and year out. We want to build a program. So
Right.
it just kind of comes with the territory right there.
And just, we're just going to sweep that on by
Yep.
and get ready for next week. And I know it's been a short week because of the rain and et cetera, nature situation, but I know it's short for them
Yeah.
too. So what are they looking like?
Bay looks really good, just like they have, every year that I've been here. They're going to be physical. They're going to be tough. I think they've got a 3-year start at quarterback. I think he started my first year and has started every year after that. So he's a pretty good player. Got a really good tailback that can run. He can go. He can stretch it, and he can go the distance at any point in time. I think in their first ball game, he had a 60-yard touchdown run where he split the linebackers, split the defense. He can go, and then they got number 12 is probably their best football player. He sticks out on film, plays offense and defense, very similar to Andre Wyndham. They're going to try to get him the ball as much as they possibly can, and then on defense, he's going to have, 10 or 11 tackles playing outside linebacker. So
Might want to account for him in your blocking scheme.
So we've worked on, taking care of those guys, all week. It is a short week, but we had a short week last week, having Memorial Day. I think our kids did a really good job preparing on Monday and Tuesday. We threw a lot at them on Monday. It was kind of a slow practice, but on Tuesday, everything was clicking. And that's a tribute to just having an older team. We're not playing. Right. Yes, we are playing with some sophomores, and we are playing with 2 freshmen. But most of those kids that are playing are either juniors or seniors, and that's just a credit to the
program.
The program, yeah.
But you can also, injuries forced you to play freshmen.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And you don't like it as a coach, but you get wary of constant contact.
That's right.
So what you end up doing, even you don't want to, is back off contact in practice. You got older kids, they can deal with that. Younger kids, they need that practice contact.
We use it in spurts. So, we have our days that we go full go.
Sure.
We have our days that are going to be, some non-contact stuff. And there's things you can do. When we work our tackling, all of our tackling is non-contact.
Yeah.
And then whenever
technique.
That's all it is, technique. And, offensively, we go full bore in our inside drills and our veer period.
Sure.
But when we go to team, we kind of scale it back a little bit. Working on just the operation of getting in and out of the huddle, working your
I've known coaches that the quarterback was live until the first one got hurt. Then they got red jerseys on.
Yeah. So we try to take care of Taj and Junior and Will because
they don't need it.
Well, they don't, but up until this week, Jackson Gurman's going to be back. He's going to be able to back up Will.
Good.
We were worried about that.
Sure.
He goes down, and then you can put Andre back there at quarterback, but then
everybody knows what you're doing.
Yeah, everybody knows what you're doing, and then you're also one snap away from not being able to get out of a ball game.
Right.
So depth is still an issue. We felt really good going into this year about our depth, but we had those injuries. So we're kind of back in the same situation that we were last year. Just hoping and praying that our kids can make it through.
Well, on offense, is they still spreading it out and running everything out of various formations, et cetera?
What they do is tough to stop because he's going to try to get in a lot of formations.
Right.
He's going to get in some spread formations to try to spread you out and run it, and then he's going to turn around and he's going to be in the I formation. So, Turcotte does a really good job over there. Their kids are going to be ready to play. They're going to play hard. They're going to be physical.
We've talked a lot of football.
Yeah.
He taught next to me at West Harrison, so off periods we talk football on the board.
Well, and he does, like I said,
he's a formation guy.
He is a formation guy. He's going to try to throw a lot at you, throw a lot of different run schemes and pass schemes out there, and try to keep you guessing on what they're doing. And, our kids are just going to have to be really good about lining up and knowing, what they like to run out of a particular formation. And, we tried to do the best we could to prepare them in a short week. And it's hard when you only got 2 days.
Well, that is true. Defense is the hardest to prepare for, no question, because they got so much stuff they can throw at you. And they're working on some new stuff now.
And that's one thing, we played this is our third 4A school in a week, third 4A school program in a row to play at the start of this season. Good gracious, 4A is huge. They got some big kids. Thought Pass had some good looking kids.
They're one step below. They used to be 5As.
Yeah.
Then they drop some down, move some up, and spread it all around.
But everybody, we say this every year, week in, week out, we're always the smallest team. So, we'll roll over there at Bay and we'll be small, but our kids don't care. They're going to roll out there and then we're going to play.
Well, I know that. No question about that.
That's probably been the biggest thing that I've been most happy about is even that last week, our kids never gave up. They were in the ball game.
Well, there was some fire in Andre the whole game,
especially
especially when he dragged that poor kid to the end zone on the overthrow. Guy had him by the jersey.
Yeah, like you go back to Forest County and we missed 3 opportunities. We missed Taj. Will didn't see Taj on the tight end dump pass. We had Andre open on 2 fade balls.
I'm betting that would have been 6 both times.
Yep. And and there's your 21 points. You beat them 30 to 21.
Right.
So but that's football.
It's the game.
It is. It is. We lost, and there's nothing you can say. And we got to move forward. And that's what I told the kids is, we got to move forward. You can't be relying on ifs and buts.
2 steps forward.
That's it. We got to go forward. We got a chance to play a really good football team in the Bay, and those guys have beat us up pretty bad the last 2 years. Should have had a chance to beat them last year, but we kept turning the football over, and we had some issues stopping them on offense. So.
I know you'll be in the game.
Yeah.
Now it's going to come down to that turning that corner and making
it is. And I don't think it's any surprise. We're not going to come out here and just dominate anybody.
Own anybody, no.
It's going to be a tight ball game week in and week out, and if we can keep it close to the fourth quarter and have a chance to win. That's what we're looking for, and our kids know that.
I believe this, Coach, which credit to the program. In every locker room you're playing, the coach is telling them, you better watch out.
Yeah, I think so.
Don't you take a slow step. Don't you look backwards because they're going to come get you.
Well, that was one thing Larry Dolan and Jeff Stockstill, the past 2 coaches that we played, they said, this isn't your typical Long Beach team. That they've grown up and they've seen the growth from year 1, year 2 to year 3, and I'm very happy about that. I'm very pleased about that. But growth don't keep your job.
right. Growth ain't W's.
That's right. So our kids, and that's another thing. You can ask our coaches. You can ask our kids. I'll tell you probably the thing that I was most excited about is after that game last Friday. Our kids were upset. Number one because they lost, but probably the biggest tell of where this program is now is they expected to go up there and win that football game. That's huge.
Right. Yes.
To have that confidence. Of year 1 and year 2, every ball game, we went into this kid.
Here we go again.
But then, we keep it close and we're in the ball game. I was like, oh, hey, we got a chance to win. Well, now our kids, I really believe, whenever they go into a football game, they expect to win that football game.
This will be a good test for that.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too.
Yeah. We're looking forward to it. Folks, we're going to take a quick break right here. When we come back, we're going to get on the board and do something fun to us.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your pain.
Glass Doctor is a proud supporter of Long Beach schools. Call Glass Doctor for all your home, auto, and business glass needs.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
Hello, folks. We are back with Coach Massey, and we're going to talk a little football on the board. We've already talked about last week, and then we moved on to this coming week at Bay St. Louis. Coach is going to talk a little bit about down lineman techniques. Maybe you hear it on TV. They use these numbers, 1, 3, 5, 7, all the way up to 9. And just in general football nomenclature, where these guys play, where they line up, and then, what their gap position is, and how they fill the linebackers in behind that to make up the difference.
Well, and just like on offense, you got a center, you got a guard, you got a tackle, you got a tight end. All those different guys have different skill sets and use a particular terminology for offense because, your center is going to be different than your guard is going to be different than your tackle. Your tackles are usually longer, your guards are. It is. So it's the same thing. The defense had to come up with their terminology. So, like if you want to put a guy head up over the center, nose guard, he's going to be a 0. A lot of guys call to either side of the center a shade, and then you just go 1, 2 is head up, 3 is outside shoulder of the guard, 4 I is the inside shoulder, 4 is head up, 5 is here, 7 is inside the tight end, and then you've got 8 and 9. And
These college coaches were down at a bar somewhere, folks. And
you do know why they call or they numbered these the way that they did, and it's because Bear Bryant said so. So, and you have different. You've got guys that are going to be better, just like you have your guard, tackle, tight end. You're going to have guys that are a better zero than you would say, a defensive end who can play a 9, who's an outside contained guy.
Right.
Most
edge guys.
Edge guys, yeah.
Right.
And then you see a lot in the NFL. They're going to have 3s and 1s, and your 3s are going to probably be your bigger, harder to move defensive linemen. Those are the ones that are going to be splitting a double team. And then you want to talk about NFL guys. These guys make the most money. Your 5s and your 9s, those edge guys, those what they call edge rushers now, power rushers.
Right.
Those guys are going to be able to be a little bit more athletic. And then on the other side of that, a lot of people call it different things, but you got your Mike, who's usually head up. Sam usually goes to the strength, and then Willie goes weak. So your Mike's always going to be head up to some
middle and weak.
Yeah. So and they use terms for that. You can have a 10 backer, a 20 backer, a 30 backer, and a 40 backer. Just using these same types of number system for your backers.
Right. And I know this. Usually, especially at the college level, these two guys will be the same guy. You can
Yeah.
get a 1 or a 3. But this is a totally different position than this.
Yeah.
Like all football, it's position specific. There are specific type of blocks he's going to have to deal with.
That's right.
There are specific blocks they're going to have to deal with, which are completely different. But I know there's combinations that go together on the front side. So if you have a 7 on the front side here, 3.
It just depends on You deal with this a lot. It depends on what.
We always put a 3 and a 7 together.
And I can talk to you,
6.
as far as that's concerned, if you're going to have teams that play with a tight end, and it really depends on what you are defensively. But, usually they're going to put their 1 here, they're going to put a 3 here, and if you want to play that 7 there, it all depends on.
You got a 5 over here.
Yeah, you got a 5 over here, but you can put your Mike and your Willie here. But it all depends on what type of player this guy is and that type of player is. If he's more athletic and he's better at playing in space, maybe you want to put this guy as an inside shade of the tight end. That way he can be free. Right. But, defensively, the most important thing is alignment, assignment, and pursuit of the football. Yes. So, when you're sitting here, you've got whatever formation, they may be lined up in something like this, But do you have the first thing we ask our kids is, do you know what gap that you have? Well, if he's lined up inside, he's got that gap, he's got this gap, Mike's going to have this gap, 1's going to have that gap, Willie's going to be here, he's going to be here, and then he's outside the tight end. So theoretically, you have a
pretty on the board, but it never works out.
It's a gap sound defense because you have all of your gaps covered and accounted for. And that's the beauty of lining up in any type of 40 look is you can line these guys up in their gap and they know I'm responsible for that gap.
You could bump him to a 4-eye and end up with the same thing.
Yes. But you
up their blocking scheme.
You get with your 50 looks, your odd man looks, it's getting to the same thing, but you may just do it a different way, Backers here, outside linebacker here. He may play out here. But you got the same thing. Most 50 look guys are probably going to slant, to the strength right here. This guy will be here. They could call it. They could roll. We could get into this next week. But you could roll your secondary here. That way that you have
to match the front.
It does. And so you still have your gaps accounted for here all the way across the board in your gap sound. Right. So, at the end of the day, it's just a different way of thinking it. Some guys are odd man front guys. Some are even. We're going to do a little bit of both just because we have to.
Well, like any real coach, you're gonna play the defense that fits
the
guys you have to work with. It's not like you can run out and we're going to sign
That's
a
right.
5.
Yeah.
Right? We got to find who we got and then what we can line up with, which so far has been pretty effective for you. So
it has. We're just trying to be as multiple as possible, trying to make people. You look at a Larry Dolan offense where you have to prepare for 8 different run schemes, 15 or 16 different formations. Well, we're trying to take that concept and apply it to defense. And that was one thing he told me, I was like, Coach, was there anything you saw offensively or defensively that could help us out? And he said, Coach, I didn't know what you were going to line up in. We worked a 3-4, we worked a 50 look, we worked a 40 look, we worked a pro 4-3 look. We just had no idea. So he said it cut our playbook in half. We could only run really 3 run plays, and it made it really difficult on knowing where you were going to be and who we were supposed to block.
Right. And that's, and then we flip back to the other side, why they have zone blocking schemes.
That's right.
As opposed to man blocking schemes. We'll get to that another day also.
But, it's all about being able, number one, to line up, number two, being able to make an adjustment, and number three, forcing them to go to their second or third play rather than run their best play.
They do best.
If somebody took away, our bread and butter, which is the veer, we don't want to run anything after veer.
That's what defense coaches
That's
think.
right.
What can we force them to do that they don't like doing?
And that was one thing that Forest County did. We never got away from our veer against Pass Christian, and
Didn't have to.
And Forest County made us go to something else.
Right.
And it was effective. So
Yes. All right, Coach, we appreciate it. Hope you all learned a little something. And after the game Friday night, good luck on Coach.
I appreciate
we
it.
feel comfortable with how our kids are going to play. So hope the ball bounces your way. And we'll get back with you next week for the coaches show.
maybe we can get Tony back with us next week.
He's taking a couple of days off because he was sick last week, and then he's become a motorhome man, so he had to move that out of harm's way and get himself resituated.
That retirement's got him a little bit.
He's enjoying it, I'll tell you.
Do you know that as a Long Beach High School student, you are eligible for a membership at Keesler Federal Credit Union? Keesler Federal is more than a bank. It's a credit union and a not-for-profit financial cooperative. This means you share in the ownership. We work to help you prosper, not investors. Keesler Federal offers a wide variety of financial products and services, great rates and extra benefits, such as free checking and savings account, free online and mobile banking, and an annual savings contest. So come in with a parent and talk to one of our friendly team members about what Keesler Federal can do for you. When you join, you are a member for life, and we will be there for every step of your financial journey. Going the extra mile for our members since 1947, Keesler Federal Credit Union, where you are more than a customer, you are family.